Dealing with a whole bunch of sheer is also Kevin Stefanski. Albert Breer was on afternoon drive. He talked to the rest of the league. Then he talks to guys in the afternoon, usually on a Tuesday at around 5 o'clock. And they asked him about the reaction of the rest of the league to Shedeur Sanders' performance on Friday. Albert Breer said that the survey said...
It's at the point now where, just let the guy be a rookie. You know what I mean? Like, he had a couple of nice throws against a really vanilla defense, a defense that wasn't running much, that has backups in the game. And again, I'm not taking anything away from what he did. Like, he showed some good things, but the way people have gone from 0 to 60 with this, the first thing he needed to do was find a way to earn first-team reps and have the coach want to take a look at him with the first team. That's still miles away from ever starting a game. So a lot of people were obviously very wrong in what they thought the league thought of Shedeur. But I just feel like this is another one of those cases where, the importance of this story has been blown out of proportion to a point where what people in the league think of it versus the way the general public is digesting it is pretty different.
I think it is kind of funny. You can hear more of that at 923thefan.com. Now, Tone, I'll tell you, I think it is pretty funny that I'm not trying to take anything away from the performance, but let me name 3, 4, 5 things that are taken away from the performance. You have to admit that was kind of good. The other part of it, though, when the rest of the league is saying to calm down, of course the rest of the league is saying to calm down. Why wouldn't the rest of the league tell people to calm down? They didn't think it was very good. They didn't think it was very good. They let him fall to the 5th round. 31 other teams, 31 other scouting departments let him fall to the 5th round. There is no way that they want him to do well. There's no way that they want Shedeur Sanders to be successful. They are rooting for the fall of Shedeur Sanders, the 31 other teams. Why wouldn't they?
Oh, so you think this is a concerted effort for people to tell Albert Breer because they're now worried that Shedeur could be really good?
No. Not just that. It's not a vast conspiracy of the other 31 teams. I don't think it's as news breaking where if Albert asks guys who are scouting departments, usually, and you know this, a lot of teams don't say a lot of nice things about each other. They all think that they're smarter than the other ones, and they think they're the smartest guys at the league meetings. 31 other teams let him fall to the 5th round. Do you think that 31 other scouting departments, if he ends up hitting, want to answer to their bosses, want to answer to their owners if they ended up taking a dud in the draft? They don't want to answer to that. They did not think he was very good. They're going to say he was up against vanilla defense. Some of that is obviously true about the vanilla defense and what he played in preseason game number 1.
True
clearly.
For everybody,
but
that plays.
Exactly, that's the point.
Yeah,
I would
just say, Ken.
It's not an attack on Albert.
Let's think about what we would be doing in Cleveland if Shedeur Sanders had done that for the Steelers. We'd be
sick.
We'd be rolling our eyes. I think
no.
Do you think Skylar? Are you worried about Skylar Thompson?
I'm not
up 233 yards.
I'm not worried about Skylar Thompson.
Are we going crazy about Tanner McKee and his performance? No, because we don't care about preseason performances.
But did they
I think by and large the NFL does roll their eyes when other guys have good performances in preseason games.
Did they have? But I do think that Shedeur is a different animal. Skylar Thompson was a free agent. Tanner McKee, was he not a free agent?
I don't even know who he is. That's what I'm saying.
All right, there you go. So you bring up these names. I don't think that people think the same way. I'm not rolling my eyes at them, but if Shedeur Sanders were to play for the Pittsburgh, if the Browns were to have passed up on him and the Steelers would have gotten him like number 21, and he had that type of outing, do not act like you wouldn't have a lump in your throat.
I think it would look exactly like it looks right now for the Pittsburgh fans that are rolling their eyes at us. I think nobody lends a lot of credence to preseason games unless it's your guy. Ross Tucker put out a chart about this to kind of explain how, depending on the situation, you either roll your eyes or you commend a guy for the preseason game. It's all perspective. So one game, couple nice touchdown passes. Those were dimes. Those were absolute dimes. I've also seen, and I'm laying the argument because I was excited but I'm just laying the argument on why I believe Albert Breer when he says, yeah, people are like, calm down. What are you guys talking about? You're really losing your mind. And then not just Cleveland. I think Breer says in another clip, it's the national guys, first take led with the performance of Shedeur Sanders. What are the odds? He's a 5th round pick. What are the odds? They're telling you that he's miles away from starting an actual NFL game. When do we do that? When do we talk about You know, 4-string quarterbacks that were drafted in the 3rd round. When do we ever make that a national story? We never do.
When guys who fall from the 1st round end up in the 5th round. And I do think you're full of it if you think that we would just be rolling our eyes here in Cleveland, especially
Kenny. I think you would be laughing and mocking any of the Steeler hosts that would be celebrating a preseason performance by a 5th round, 4th guy on the depth chart.
Have we just met?
Oh, this would be a new thing? This would be a new thing for you?
You don't think I'd be nervous? I'm sorry. You know me well. Do you think I would be nervous, Owen?
Yeah, you'd probably be a little nervous.
Thank you.
What would he do on the air?
I don't know.
He would have came on and mocked Filippone if Filippone was celebrating.
What would Anthony do on the air?
Quarterback.
I'm sorry, Owen. Let's go to the judge on this. What would Anthony do on the air?
That's not an Owen thing.
What would Anthony do? No, I'm going to ask you. Well, I'll go back at him here in a second.
I've hosted with you enough to know you poo-poo everything Pittsburgh. This would be no different.
I think you've hosted with me enough to know
Even though they finish with a better record than us every single year.
You're a person who...
I'm pretty sure I'm confident in knowing how you would react to that.
You are the same guy who has feasted on my insecurities and fears over the last decade. If you don't think that I would go, oh, yeah, one performance, big deal, and you'd go, Ken, you're not afraid at all? You're really not afraid at all?
You do live in your
really not afraid at all?
I will say you live in your fears when it comes to Cleveland quarterbacks because you said if Drew Aller was
but you understand
the number 1 overall pick, you wouldn't draft him.
Do you understand that the frenzy over everything, if Shedeur Sanders were to go out and have the same performance for the Pittsburgh Steelers that he just had for the Browns, and you'd be going, not you, but a lot of people would be going, same old sorry-ass Browns. You pass on Shedeur, you overthink it. He ends up on the Pittsburgh Steelers, and get ready for him to pound it up your ass over the next 10 years. Congratulations. Yeah, you know that's going to happen.
I think you would have that's going to happen. I think you would have poked 100 holes in that performance if he were just wearing a different jersey.
You would have poked 1,000 in my argument. You know you, and I know you, and you know me, and I don't know me as well as you know me. You know very, very well I would try to eye roll, and you would call me out on it. The fans know that I would try to eye roll, and you would call me out on it. I mean, seriously, Browns fans, 216-474-0092. I didn't mean to ask this. Am I in a bizarro world? Am I in a total the time zone? What's the old show called? I don't remember what it is. Twilight Zone. Am I in the Twilight Zone? Because, yeah, I would probably try to poo-poo it, and you'd go, Ken, really? This team that they went out and they traded for Deshaun Watson, this team that you have no faith in them being able to pick a quarterback, to see a quarterback. They let Shedeur Sanders fall to the Pittsburgh Steelers at wherever, and the Steelers have him, and now he's going to go out there and put the boots to him for the next 10 to 15 years. You wouldn't think that. You wouldn't pray. You wouldn't feast on my fears. You wouldn't prey on my fears and my insecurities. You are lying to yourself. I'm not calling you a liar. I'm saying you're lying to yourself.
So just overall, you think that the reaction that we came into, yesterday when I looked, because we had all these clips go viral, the overwhelming majority of people that were responding were like, you guys serious? This is not a bit? And part of it, the Super Bowl, Super Browns part, yeah, that's been a bit for people. We've had to explain
we got new people coming in, so they don't know, but we had to explain. But
overall, like you thought that was manufactured, that response? Because I think in general in the NFL, we basically poo-poo 99% of preseason stuff. As a league, everybody collectively does do it.
I do think that I'm talking about the rest of the league. I do believe that the rest of the league really hopes Shedeur Sanders isn't good. Because if he is, you know what I know, that's a start. It's only been one preseason game. So they may very well kind of just go about their business no matter who does well in the preseason, clearly. But I do firmly believe that when you have had April, okay, it was the end of April, May, June, July, August. When you've had 4 months of conversation surrounding one guy who fell from the 1st to the 5th round, you have 31 other teams that didn't sniff at him. If they go out there with the quarterbacks that they took, the quarterbacks that they brought in, say Indianapolis has problems with Daniel Jones and Anthony Richardson and Riley Leonard, the Irsay family sitting there going, why didn't we pick up with Chris? Excuse me, Shedeur was right here and he's doing what for the Browns? Where didn't I pay you how much and you didn't? What you didn't like his answers at the combine. The people down in charge of the New Orleans Saints. So you guys took Tyler Shough, because he threw a really nice ball in the one play against Louisville, but you guys didn't want to take Shedeur Sanders, this guy who's making a bunch of money for the Browns, who's selling a bunch of jerseys. I'm putting so many carts before so many horses on here.
Yeah, you just made it sound like the rest of the NFL is cowering over this Shadur Sanders
I didn't say
performance.
That. I'm not saying cowering.
They have taken notice.
I'm saying that they are absolutely 100% rooting against Shedeur Sanders.
But maybe.
Yes.
Well, yeah, sure. I mean, you don't want other teams to get quarterbacks. But I think in general, I don't think the rest of the league is worried about the Cleveland Browns and Shedeur Sanders right now. I think that part of it, you're going a little far.
Twitter reactions brought to you by Shabin Jewelers, Cleveland's premier jewelry store. Chef Zay, Ken, we would 1,000% be vomiting if Shedeur was doing this in Pittsburgh. Yep. Dennis believes we're both right. Not Dennis 6969. This is D Wells 90. I don't know what Dennis 6969 says right now. Maybe he's tweeting to you, Tone. I might have blocked him. Jim Correo. Conspiracy theories now? LOL, you're sounding more like Peterlin every day, man. IDK. I don't think 2.5 quarters a good play by Sanders is making teams like New Orleans, the Giants, Seattle regret passing on him. I'm thinking it'll take more than that. Yes, of course it'll take more than that. I never said that the Irsay daughters are marching Chris Ballard into their office right now. But if he goes out and he has a good season, they're going to be freaking out going, why did you pass on him over and over again? Why did you do this? Now, if he goes out there and he sucks up the room, yeah, then it'll be typical sorry Browns. But the Browns are in a tough spot here. The Browns, it's amazing to me. It really is, Tone. They take him in the 5th round. Then they're being told they're holding him hostage. Trying to bring him along the right way, but nobody trusts the guys bringing him along. Okay. He plays well on Friday. Okay, how good is good? Like I said, he played great on Friday. Ken, really great. And now we're doing that.
Somebody gave us Warren Sharp, and they had the most efficient quarterbacks preseason week 1, and Sanders was 49th.
Yeah. Okay, great. So Warren
out of
Sharp.
70.
All right, I got that. So
does that account for throwing in windows that have 3 people standing outside of
apparently
it?
not.
That's what I care about.
Apparently that wasn't good enough.
If the Browns, if he plays well for the Browns in a preseason game, yes, it's just one preseason game. I am so abundantly aware that it was one preseason game and that another one is coming up on Saturday on your flagship home for Cleveland Browns football, 92.3 The Fan. If he plays well in one preseason game for the Browns, you see, it's you guys need to relax. You're so desperate. You want a quarterback. It's just one preseason game. If he plays well for anybody else, especially the Steelers, you don't think Pony be sitting here hooting and hollering later on around the AFC North, and everybody in the world be sitting there going, man, fate tried to dump that quarterback in your lap how many times over and you passed on him? Instead, you guys took Dylan Gabriel. How's he doing? Oh, he couldn't even play because he has a hamstring issue. Oh, Dylan Gabriel, the 5'9" quarterback. The guy that nobody else thinks is a quality quarterback, the guy that Daryl and Zach and everybody except Lance Reisland. Lance Reisland's been kind of nice to him, but everybody else has been ripping. You guys took Dylan Gabriel instead of this guy. Okay, enjoy the next 15 years. Enjoy the next 15 years. You don't think people would be saying that?
I think this really has to do, because your first tweet, you read the tweet again about what we would be doing, in Pittsburgh.
He said it'd be 1,000% be vomiting if Shedeur was doing this in Pittsburgh.
I think that is from Shedeur Sanders fans. I think there is a huge faction in Cleveland that do not like Shedeur Sanders, because when we reacted the way we did, I had so many people bashing both of us that were Cleveland fans, that were Browns fans, saying, what are you guys, you're going to do this again? You did it for this guy, this guy, this guy, this guy.
And
you're going to do it again.
One.
I think it has to do with whether or not you were a Shedeur fan coming in. And let's not act like he wasn't a polarizing
He is a polarizing figure.
In fact, that's what I like about him. I love how polarizing he is.
Well, I'll tell the people who don't like him or were upset with, first off, with Super Bowl Super Browns, guess what? If he sucks up the room, I'll do it for the next guy. I'll do it for Drew Aller.
Yeah,
until we find our way out of this hell.
That's our bet.
Well, yeah, but I desperately want to find a quarterback. So it's going to happen.
I mean, we did it when Joe Flacco re-signed here.
You understand the guys that we did Super Bowl Super Browns?
That was going to be.
Yeah. I mean, good God. Oh, exactly, Owen. Keith. Hello. It's our boss. Hello, Keith.
I apologize if I'm a little
a little out of breath. I just finished the workout. But do you guys have any of those hour-old hot dogs in there? Because I would be starving to have one when I get in.
You're going to get that was our boss talking, not us. You're going to get us
the next show.
Heads
I
up.
think they polished those off in record time.
He microwaved that thing, Tone. You weren't there, and he held it up like a kid on his 6th birthday holding up a new present. I swear to God.
999 challenge.
Hopefully, he took the foil off. That'll hurt the filling
during the show.
There could have been 6 more there, and they all would have been gone by 11 o'clock. Just a heads up, guys. By the way, you guys are the unofficial Steelers talk show on this station, so you are full of it. If you don't think that if Will Howard went out and balled out in like 2 preseason games that he was going to play in, and the Browns rookies didn't show up or weren't up to expectations, you guys would be leading the charge on how the Browns missed out on Will Howard. You spent 2 to 3 months leading up to the draft saying that he was this guy that you wanted because of his maturity, because of what he showed in the playoffs and in the last couple runs to the college football playoffs, the national championship. You would have been leading the charge on that, as well as fans around here blaming the organization for passing on a guy right down the road.
So you agree with me?
Wait, you agree with me? You're lumping both of us together.
Ken, like Lima.
Wow. Yeah, I don't see
leading this charge.
Yeah, I mean, Ken would not be doing that.
The charge.
It depends. If Filippone,
no, it doesn't depend.
If Filippone would be going nuts, Ken would be rolling his eyes. You know that. Ken's not gonna sit there and give the Steelers credit.
I cannot believe it.
Well, then Ken would be a hypocrite for the 6th time in the last 6 months because he said leading up to the draft that Will Howard was the guy that he wanted.
I like Will Howard. I still like Will Howard.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, so you would be a hypocrite if you didn't say that you valued what he did in the preseason if he went out and balled out.
Did you like Will more than Shedeur?
I can't believe that
Will went in the
this
6th
guy.
round, by the way. They had every chance to pick him. They had, 6 or 7 picks to pick the guy, and they didn't. So if that were the scenario, everybody would be talking about it.
Hell is frozen over.
I don't see Ken giving an Ohio State quarterback credit. I just don't see that happen.
Now you're just that's garbage because I like Justin Fields. You and I both stump for Justin Fields. Now
they don't send big packages to his house to sit in his garage.
It is Lima grasping at straws now because I like Justin Fields coming out. I think we're going to end up being wrong on that.
I think
but I like Justin Fields coming out. I'm sorry, guys. I got to pick myself up off the floor. Keith, it's a bad argument when Keith agrees with me. Keith hates to agree with me. He goes out of his way not to agree.
That's rarer than winning 22 at 30.
I'm just trying to picture Ken allowing Steeler fans to have excitement about a preseason game with a new quarterback. I can't see Ken doing that. But I can't even conjure it up in my mind.
I didn't deny that you were right. I said you are 100% correct. But I know that you would go, Kenny, and you would prey on my fear, and then I would eventually get worked into a shoot, and then I'd be sitting there freaking out.
I haven't been that way the last few years with the Steelers, though. I have not been giving them a lot of credit for much of anything. And I know they were way better than us last year, again. But I'm maybe one of these
but it's not
doomers
hard to
with
be
the
better
Steelers.
than 3-14.
That's true.
All right, I'm gonna get to the phones when we come back. 216-474-0092. We need to calm down about that performance. We do have Dylan Gabriel who's probably going to play at some point on Saturday. We'll find out more today.